Very warm welcome to all the great CSR proponents. I do not know when, but last time this kind of a gathering was under one roof with one common purpose, that is the social commitment or social service. I welcome Mr. David, who's come all the way and given us an opportunity to take full advantage of his presence and host this big summit or conference, you may call it. I welcome Mr. Madhukar, Sushi, and this platform, which we have been frankly discussing for almost last 2 years. So it's good that it has materialized today, and by very warm welcome to them with an assurance that we have to be doing it, as I discussed with both of them, that in that 3-4 months, so many new activities they have on their agenda, which we would love to host all of them. Yeah.
You, on behalf of the entire team of British Chamber of Commerce Industry and Center of CSR. It's a really warm evening.
So I'd like to take context with a different view, and I'd like to take it as the global context of the challenges that we're facing both globally and within India. A couple of hours ago, Achya Patra finished serving 1.4 million children their lunch at their school. Today and yesterday, 38,000 women helped create the yarn and actually weave the carpets on looms that have been placed in their villages so that they can work and create those beautiful carpets without having to leave the place where they grew up. Mother Industry has, I don't know how many artisans working on their products being sold across India and globally. And I could go on to make a rather long list of some of the most successful solutions. When you think of CSR, it's in the context of that worldview. It's in the context of leaders, if I'll use that term, believing that by requesting a for the world. And if you would like to think about the global perspective, I would suggest one place that you could look is the launch of the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, we have a lot of experts here on sustainability, and I would suggest, I just came from a set of conversations with social entrepreneurs, and there was more intelligence in the room of those 5 or 6 leaders about what sustainability means than you could find in the entire city of New York during the launch of the Sustainable Development Goals. So for most people, the shift from Millennium Development Goals to Sustainable Development Goals was a word processing change. Delete Millennium, paste Sustainable. If you could get on the phone lines across the world right now, you would find people in large multilateral organizations picking up the phone and calling their head of partnerships or their head of research and asking the following question: who can we get to come and show us a sustainable model? What leader could demonstrate how you create a sustainable development goal? Those phone conversations are going on right now. That's a global context. Who can tell me how many goals there are?
17.
17 goals. How many targets?
160.
We have an expert already, 169.
Yes.
Who can tell me how much money the large organizations globally ask for to implement solutions to those 17 goals and 169 targets.
Very interesting speech by David Wilcox. It was really an eye-opener for me because I'm not from this field, and the things which he talked about really triggered a lot of things in my mind. And I was thinking how we can connect the holistic health with the CSR, because unless we are healthy, we cannot do anything. So basically, the opportunity which I have here for what half an hour to talk to you, I will spend that time explaining the holism and the whole thing. So, yeah. So when we say holistic word comes from the word whole. And if you see, in spiritual terms also, when we talk about the whole is, whether you call it God or you call it anything,
when we were young, we did a course called Moral Science in school. It was a very valuable course, and it was a Bible for us. And I enjoyed it. Today, I think the first thing before we talk about the senior citizens and elders and this, somewhere down the line, it should be a basic thing for school children, down the line, maybe in class 5 onward, when they learn just to start up something on this, we should start. It should be a practice in the school. And I think that should be there. I think your institute can sort of give a proposal, some sort of book or something. Thanks.
Thank you so very much for suggesting this, and I must say that we learned it very early. The values which students missed out at the school level, which they missed out at the college level, we are trying that we give them back at this MBA level now. So this what we found a very big gap into that. Something went wrong into our foundation in the last 20-25 years of change education. We tried to copy, sorry to say, tried to copy some developed countries very blindly. Missed out on our own basic systems, and then we didn't remain either developed or developing. And we got into a totally wrong track. So, but I took a pledge that, whatever the student missed out at the school level, college level, will not let them pass without giving them this stage. And that's why we got into this 4 years back. Thank you so very much.
One thing that I think challenges us all, but in particular challenges us if we're trying to change from both of the issues that you raised, moving away from measuring ourselves by external things, whether they be stuff or degrees, or not that degrees are bad, but you really don't need hundreds of them. One of the opportunities I would encourage people to look for is something that would really put you in a position where you're experiencing leadership development as a leader who's fixing a problem. Because most of the leadership development we get isn't involved in fixing a problem. And when people actually have that experience, they generally come back and say, that's the best leadership development I've ever had. So the Desmond Tutu Award this past year was given to a group out of South Africa who have a similar kind of CSR law to the one that was passed in India. They've had it for 10 years. And what this group did is it went to the companies who were putting money into education already, and it said, we don't want just your money, we want your executives. We want your leaders. We want to bring each leader to a school. We want to partner each leader with a principal. And we want to do what is the holy grail in development, which is a custom development plan. the custom development plan is based on the assets of the principal in the school, the assets of the community, and the assets of the executive. And they come together to create a custom turnaround plan for that school. So that's an example of leadership development experience solving a problem that cuts directly to a key issue in this country and a key issue in South Africa, and that enables your improvement as a leader, which I think will also de-stress you, to happen while you're also addressing some of the most stressful things for the poor, some of the most stressful things for people who can't read. Imagine how stressful it is to be in this world and not be able to read. So if you can help people with that stress while you're getting your own leadership development, that's a big win.
Well, David and myself, we deliberated. I'm from the Indian School for Innovation and Sustainability. And we had a very good two-day session over the weekend trying to understand how we can really structure this sustainability and put it into the system so that it's a no-brainer for people to actually come into investing. You know, we talked about the mega dollars through the whole of the weekend. Now, David, this is a question that we have been going on since the Millennium Development Goals. And just to remind everybody, like, the sustainable energy for all was not there for the first 8 years of its rollout. It just got put into there in 2012. So, is it possible that we can have energy bonds run by the BRICS Bank?
Well, that's a brilliant idea.
No, we've been on it for the last 15 years. So, you know, you have a bank that actually takes in the money, because half of the projects, and you know how New York works, are into some things that are not calculated in the life cycle basis. Like everybody talks about putting up solar panels. I mean, that's not renewable energy for me. How does this affect the whole circular economy at large? Does it address? Now, you know, this is something probably, you know, you're the first guy who said reach scalability. So how can we reach scalability without actually having demo pilots?
So, in 2013,
Yeah.
in 2013, they had the conference that they have every 3 years of the UN Global Compact, and Accenture did a survey of 1,000 CEOs, and the theme of the document that they wrote in response to that survey, one of the key subheads was stuck in pilot paralysis.
I agree, I read that book. Yeah.
So,
yes,
so
Board is personally responsible. They are responsible for making a CSR policy and the program. They are responsible for nominating a CSR committee in the organization. They are responsible for a director's report to include the CSR reporting and say what they have been doing. I mean, of course, CSR reporting also, there are so many problems, so many ways, globally, how integrated reporting systems, and so many aspects, triple bottom line, all those are coming up, and I mean, those of you most of you are already experts in it. We are dealing with all these aspects. So there is a hell of a lot happening. What he has said, I was very, very happy to learn that there is, why look at problems, look at them. Plenty of solutions, plenty of the people who are wanting to really come out with the proper results, and we can move up. So let us follow that, and I think with these few words, it's a very excellent way to put it up. Thank you very much.
And certainly would have enriched the knowledge with different perspectives. We started from CSR, MDGs, went up to SDGs, and then back to holistic healing, talked about I, illness, W, wellness, and then back, as Mr. Ahluwalia came back to Indian context of CSR, and rightly said that In fact, I was pointing out that the questions which I had raised, some of the answers were hidden in Mr. Ahluwazia's answer. The CSR and sustainability actually has no proper definition, and here lies the problem. People are really confused. The big corporates, those who are into this practice, they have been doing it, they are doing good, but then the newcomers, the new players, they are struggling because they are not able to set up their agendas, and as there is no penalty for non-compliance, so the problem is still exists, but still the future is quite bright. As now I will sum up what David said. David has said so many things. So I'm quite enlightened with it, but yes, to come to the main point, what he said is right, that when we talk about CSR, it is incomplete without sustainable development, and it's the era when we should be shifting from MDGs to SDGs. So SDG is the new buzzword, and India, as he rightly mentioned, is the social enterprise, new social enterprise land, because of its unique combination and unique opportunity of having enablers with right proportion of academicians, corporate leaders, community leaders, and so on. But then the real future of CSR India, as David mentioned, will depend on that how does it demonstrate the world its ability to spend the CSR funds sustainability for the development. And no wonder that with 1 year of completion of CSR mandate, and I won't say it's disappointing, but out of 16,000 companies which fall under the purview of CSR legislation, 22,000 crores were supposed to be spent, out of which only 9,000 crores have been spent till now. So there are many reasons, and one of the reasons, as David rightly mentioned, trust deficit between the two ends, corporates and the NGOs. There is total lack of trust. So all these problems, yes, as he rightly mentioned, that can be taken care of when we come up, the new generation who's sitting over here, the new generation, the new entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, that they have to come up with the models to blend the resources and finances. I think that seems to be, at least to me, it sounds to be one of the best answers. So the new generation, please come up. We really look forward to having the new models, because before we step into the new, you can say we have already stepped into the second year of CSR legislation. We are looking forward to have the set format, the unique, you can say the prioritized formats given by government to us. But we are really not what David mentioned, and we realize that there are so many things to learn from the West as well. I agree what David mentioned, that we in India can certainly benefit from the same if we are going to look at the best CSR practices across the globe. And if we try to learn from that nobody is going to come and say, do this way. See, as he said, that bring it, innovative solutions, innovative models have to be brought here. Somebody has to take the lead. Yes, here it is, I'm going to do it. So, alone government, alone one agency, Indian Institute of Ministry of Corporate Affairs or Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, they cannot become the enabler, bringing everything to the platform. So we have to come forward with the innovative solutions to make this CSR legislation, which has created us in a position where we can say India is the only country, the unique status to do so, making the CSR mandated. So it's really very promising, but at the same time it's very demanding. And the onus is on all of us, whether you are owner of an academic institution or you are a corporate leader, as Deepak was.
First of all, Mr. David came all the way to Biden. Made up for all the time because he spoke the most and we enjoyed the most by his talk. And he gave a lot of ideas, which we can work upon, and they are very valid ideas. So thank you very much, David. You have really blessed us, and we feel honored.
I must also thank
वाइड लेंगे
who have taken this from here and give the listeners ideas regarding in the current and health is best. Therefore, we want to make the country wealthy. That's the message is given. The best message that we could have this evening. And I must also thank, from core of my heart, Mr. V. M. Ansel. So Mr. V. M. Ansel has been a great dear friend of mine for the last 35 years. And I have really enjoyed his company. And he has been so graceful, so gracious, and so very bountiful that he gave this place to all the attendant taxis and hospitality. We are really, really grateful. I'm also thankful to all the people from this Institute of Management, Dr. Tina Singh, Dr. Sarika, and all the members of the staff as well as the students who have made this really a great success. Dr. Amit Nagpal, the social media partner, has also been a great help to all of us. And not to speak of Dr. Sushil Singh, who is the soul of the whole thing. She is the person, the spirit behind the entire event that we are today. We are here today, and I think this will be given to her. This is her case, and therefore